A brand new video. Today we're doing 2 college football player props here on PrizePicks for Saturday, November 23rd. Before I get started, you guys, link in the description below of the video. Hop into the Discord, $9.30 per month normally. Currently doing a promo for first-time members of the Discord. 20% off your first month, comes out to like $7. Again, that's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. We have other captures in there as well. Super positive community overall. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. Also want to mention I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. But let's get into it, you guys. Pretty massive college football slate here. I got do want to talk about my Twitter account real quickly. Follow me on Twitter at TUFFPICKS Tough Picks. Verified Twitter account here. Daily plays of the day. Again, if you're watching this video, depending on when you're watching it, Ryan Kalkbrenner over 37.5 fantasy was the college basketball play of the day for Friday here. So yeah, daily plays of the day, keeping them separate from the YouTube plays. Again, at Tough Picks, give me a follow. I also want to talk about Daily Grand Fantasy, you guys, the DFS optimizer. An absolute elite tool, you guys, that I do use on a daily basis to add plays into my parlays. You can get 25% off your first month over at Daily Grand using the link in the description below, as well as promo code TUFF. Again, link in the description, promo code TUFF for 25% off your first month. But let's get into it, you guys. Again, massive slate here. Again, also, but real quickly, because, like, for example, Ash and JT, because, you know, traditional books don't have fantasy score lines, Ash and JT's fantasy score will be 27.5 on FanDuel. It's at 31.5 on PrizePicks, showing us these type of discrepancies here, 59.8% odds to hit. So again, if you're on underdog, parlay play, better picks, sleeper, whatever platform you're on, they have an optimizer for you. Again, elite tool, link in the description, promo code TUFF, 25% off your first month. But yeah, let's get into it. First play I'm looking at here. Actually, both these plays are going to be fantasy score lines for college football. You know, if you're subscribed to the channel or watched the channel for a while, you know I do like these fantasy score lines. But Harvey over 24.5 fantasy against West Virginia. Looking at this game here, it looks like there's going to be some rain in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's a home game for West Virginia. 61.5 game total. And UCF's going to be 3-point favorites in this one. So, again, the perfect game script, high game total, and UCF being favorites, I think bodes well for this game. To just be a complete shootout overall, and with the rain being a factor, I think UCF looks to run the ball, and they already love to run the ball with Harvey as well. But he's looking to finish the season strong. He's over this line in 4 straight games, and on the season, I mean, he's over this line in 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of 10 games. He's over this line. 7 of 10 games, he's over this line. And really has turned it up as of late. Last 4 games against pretty tough opponents. I mean, Iowa State, BYU, and ASU are, you know, all top 6 defenses in the Big 12. 31.6, 26.7, and 32.7 last week against ASU. Harvey currently over 0.5 anytime touchdown. I mean, it's pretty much a lock at minus 525, minus 600 on Caesars to score a touchdown tomorrow, or, you know, Saturday for this game. But if we take a look a little bit deeper, this is just an absolute elite matchup, right? West Virginia on the season is allowing the actually, let me switch this to PPR real quickly just so we can be as clear as possible. Again, I do apologize. This should have already been at PPR. But they can be regular standard scoring. They do allow the second most PPR fantasy points to the running back position. And let's see if this will load for me, guys. I try to make this videos in real time as possible, or as in real time as possible here. So let's just see if this will load. Anyways, I'll get back to that. But second most total fantasy points to the running back position in the Big 12 this season. They've just been getting absolutely fried, and a lot of their games, specifically West Virginia games, have been shootouts, right? 35-49, 31-24, 31-26, 45-18, 28-16, 38-14, 32-28, 38-34. Right, like, they don't have a great defense, but they have an offense that is able to keep up with other teams' offenses. And let's just see if let's just go back to standard. I don't know what's going on here, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We know that they give up the second most fantasy points to the running back position. But let's just look at running backs in their games against West Virginia this season. DJ Giddens, running back for Kansas State, 19 carries. Again, Harvey's rush attempts line is set at 23.5. So again, going to here, though, DJ Giddens against West Virginia, 23.5. This game here, who's this? Carson Hansen, 20 carries. Again, 20 carries, 96 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He put up 27.6 against West Virginia. Let's see what else we got here. I opened up all these tabs, and again, I do apologize if this is lagging. Devin Neal, look at the entire running back group, or the 2 running backs essentially for Kansas. Devin Neal, 27 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown, and along with Daniel Highshaw, 72 yards and a touchdown. So if you kind of split both these running backs here, looking at over 180 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns between the 2 of these running backs here for Kansas. We look at Eli Holstein, but in Desmond Reed, he only had 11 carries for 26 yards, but he also had 4 catches for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns down here. So Desmond Reed, who, and again, another high volume type of running back here, he finished with 21.6 fantasy against West Virginia. Nicholas Singleton, 114 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. This game was just pretty much over from the very beginning. What else do we have here? Bryson Washington, this is just, I believe, last week. 123 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. Also had 5 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown. So let's just see what his fantasy scoreline was last week against West Virginia, because it's absolutely crazy. He put up 44.7. Corey Kiner, 25 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Also 2 catches for 18 yards. And then Arizona, Quali Conley, 16 carries, 72 yards, a touchdown, 2 catches for 14 yards. So you can see the type of floor that this line at 24.5 does have for RJ Harvey. I mean, he's just an absolute monster. He's going to rush the ball 20 plus times, maybe even more. If they get in the red zone, they love to run the ball with him as well. So I like this spot a lot here for him. RJ Harvey over 24.5 fantasy is the first play. The second play I'm looking at here is going to be Diego Pavia over 18 fantasy score, quarterback at Vanderbilt versus LSU. Taking a look at this matchup here, Vanderbilt is going to be 7.5 point underdogs here, 53.5 game total, 7.5 point underdogs, which again obviously helps quarterback in general, right? And Diego Pavia is having a great year. I think he's been talked about in the media a lot. He's had the upsets against Bama. I think they also almost upset Texas in the country. Bama and Texas, he put up 23 plus on both those teams. And again, a tougher defense, Carolina, he put up 17.1. But this defense here, and LSU's pass defense, we know it's pretty horrible. But to the quarterback position this season, they are allowing the 3rd most fantasy points to the quarterback, 22.2 per game. And specifically against rushing type of quarterbacks, right? They are allowing the 2nd most rushing yards and the most rushing touchdowns. Now, obviously, this stats, the rushing stats against is mainly from Jalen Milroe, because Jalen Milroe went absolutely crazy against LSU on the ground. I think he finished with like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Milroe put up 46.9 fantasy. He had 185 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. Just some other quarterbacks, though, really quickly, like Marcel Reed, quarterback at Texas Tech against LSU. He put up 27 fantasy. He had 62 yards rushing and 3 rushing touchdowns. Taylon Green, quarterback for Arkansas versus LSU, put up 11.6, but that was actually, 239 through the air and a passing touchdown. It's not horrible, but Jackson Dart, I think we actually took this play against LSU. At LSU, he put up 17.1. And then we look at Lenorius Sellers against LSU, 22.3, 82 yards rushing, 88 yards rushing, and a touchdown. But you can see the rushing type of quarterbacks and the lines in the games that they do have versus LSU, along with the passing upside. But Diego Pavia, we know, is a rushing type of quarterback, 12 plus carries in every single game. Massive rushing yards upside, and then obviously the rushing touchdown upside as well. But he's been able to throw the football this year as well. I just think overall at 18, some decent upside. This actually was at 17.5. And it bumped, or I think it was actually 17 and it bumped to 18. So I like this play here for him overall. So yeah, Diego Pavia over 18 fantasy score is going to be the second play. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these two. Please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and as always, have a great day. Let's catch.